What if the lines on a map, those invisible boundaries that separate nations, were to become the catalysts for the world's next great conflict? Imagine for a moment a world on the edge of war, not because of ideological differences or economic struggles, but simply because of territorial disputes. This is not a hypothetical scenario. It's the reality we face today. Our journey begins in the South China Sea, a region fraught with tension. Here, multiple nations lay claim to the same territories, with disputes dating back centuries. The situation has been simmering for years, but recently, it has started to boil over. The escalation began subtly, with nations asserting their sovereignty through increased naval patrols and military exercises. But soon, these demonstrations of power took a more aggressive turn. Fishing boats were seized, artificial islands were constructed, and military bases were established. The South China Sea, once known for its tranquil waters, has become a stage for a dangerous game of geopolitical chess. From there, we shift our attention to the Korean Peninsula. Here, the conflict is not over disputed islands or maritime boundaries. It's a decades-old standoff between two nations that share the same peninsula but have vastly different ideologies. The tension between North and South Korea has ebbed and flowed over the years, but recently it has reached a fever pitch. Missile tests, military parades, and fiery rhetoric have replaced diplomatic dialogues. The potential for conflict looms large, threatening not just the peninsula but the entire region. Next, we travel to Eastern Europe, a region steeped in history and scarred by conflict. Here, unresolved territorial issues have driven a wedge between nations and have served as the catalyst for escalating tensions. From the frozen conflict in Transnistria to the ongoing dispute over Crimea, these territorial disputes have the potential to ignite a larger conflict, drawing in neighboring nations and alliances. The domino effect of these regional flashpoints is both alarming and undeniable. A conflict in one region has the potential to draw in neighboring nations and alliances, escalating local disputes into global crises. The world stands at a crossroads with the potential for peace or war hanging in the balance. In summary, the escalating territorial disputes in the South China Sea, the Korean Peninsula, and Eastern Europe represent some of the most significant flashpoints in the world today. These disputes, if left unresolved, have the potential to escalate into larger conflicts, drawing in neighboring nations and alliances. The domino effect of these conflicts could plunge the world into a new era of uncertainty and conflict. This is not a hypothetical scenario. It's the reality we face today. The world stands on the brink of war, and the invisible lines on a map could push us over the edge. As we navigate through these turbulent times, it's important to remember that peace is not a given. It's something we must strive for, fight for, and above all, value. The world on the brink of war is a world we must strive to avoid at all costs.